Welcome along to EuroGoals, the Philips Stadium, Eindhoven, today's first destination for the weekend's top game from Holland, Ajax PSV. Dramatic weekend in Spain to tell you about. Getafe back at the top of La Liga as a double dismissal sends Real spinning to defeat. In Italy, Juventus march on. Capello's team equal the record for the best start to a Serie A season with an 8th straight win at Lecce. Wins for Porto and Benfica, the big boys in Portugal, a list to which FC Braga must surely be added. The unbeaten Northerners remain top. Saint Etienne edge past Marseille in France, 4 more goals for Lyon, who maul bottom club Metz. Toulouse hold Bordeaux. And in Germany, Duisburg destroyed by a barnstorming Bayern, with Say Roberto scoring 1 for the scrapbook. First though, to Holland.
Nearly 35,000 here in the Philips Stadion, and most of them excited by the fact that PSV's season is finally coming alive. A win against AZ, a draw against Milan brings them here in good and confident form, and they believe that Danny Blind's Ajax are there for the taking, although Ajax have improved this season too and have given themselves every chance of getting out of their Champions League group, which includes Arsenal, and making a realistic push for the title. Hiddink assures everyone who'll listen that his other role with Australia won't distract him from his day-to-day work here. He has injury problems with which to contend. Ball, De Jong, Lucius and Varanen are all out, and one interesting name on the team sheet is an Australian, Jason Cullinan. Maxwell, Mitea, Vermeer and Juan Fran all miss out for Ajax. Blind has decided to play Babel down the middle with Rosales out wide. The scorer of both their goals against Tunin midweek, Anastasiou, is also missing. Well, it's 9 years since Ajax won here, and the team sheet from that day gives you an idea of just how far this club has fallen. Scorers then were Ronald de Boer, David, Seedorf and Vossen. Only Schneider really of the current Ajax crop is anywhere near that reputation. The referee is Peter Vink. PSV need to build on last season, and maybe we can start to regard them as one of Europe's very biggest clubs again. Slight delay, but we're underway. Immediately the whistles and boos for Ajax. But you've come to expect that at the Philips Stadion. They'll try and keep things very tight. PSV are all energy. Cleared away by Stekelenburg. There was no offside flag. It was a chase for Jefferson Farfan. 3 goals so far this season for the Peruvian. There's Alex Reisiger. They want their revenge on Milan in their Champions League games. The double-header at the moment. Been beaten in the semi-final so unluckily last season. Well, the referee's decided that's a free kick. Andre Uyo with a challenge. I think they wanted a little more than that. Babel with his pace. They were looking for a card of some sort, but can Ajax build here on a good position? Wesley Schneider, of course, the favourite to hit it. Well, he got the movement on the ball, but he couldn't quite get it in the right direction. And Gomez is a huge barrier in that PSV goal. Bruno Kone's had a good season so far, the man from the Ivory Coast. Now Farfan. Picks up the rebound, Farfan, he'll run all day, and he's brought down, is he? Penalty! Emmanuelson with the foul, and they are furious with the referee, but Peter Vink gives a penalty. Schneider's lucky there, he had his hands on the ref, he didn't touch him. I really don't think he touched him. And how could the referee have been sure? Super run by Farfan, watch the angle. Oh, there's daylight. Farfan's taken the dive and the referee's bought it. And it will be the Belgian Timmy Simons to try and give PSV the lead. Super penalty kick. But justice certainly not done then. It wasn't the best challenge by Emmanuelson, but he didn't touch Farfan. But they don't care about that right now. PSV could be going to the top of the league here. It was comfortably past Stekelenburg. But Danny Blind will be furious. Danny Blind is furious. And they've done well, Ajax, not to be too ruffled by that incident. It's Pienaar. It's a good ball as well towards Babel. There's a constant threat. And laid back. And easy for Gomez. Galasek, rather, placed it straight at the keeper in the end from the layoff by Schneider. Do like Babel, though. All energy and all action. He's got a lot yet to learn. But he'd be a dream for a coach because there's so much to work with. It's Grigera. Now Galasek. Hub of that Ajax midfield alongside Schneider, but he's given it away to Kone. Rebounds away. It's a real opening here. But Affalay couldn't keep it on target. Just 19 years of age, Ibrahim Affalay. And it all came from Galasek giving the ball away. Well, they'll be happy if slightly nervous at the moment. That's a good ball slid in. There's a shot flicked behind. Grigera made a good run there. Now what can they do from the corner kick? It's hooked in, it's off the line by Affalay. Grigera manages to keep it inside the penalty area, and Nigel de Jong wastes his second chance. Good clearance there by Affalay. Keeps the lead for PSV. De Jong met it so well. Gomez was beaten, but that's why you put a man on the line. Nicely worked that from Rosales' corner. That's good defending. Hatem Trabelsi, but he's given it away, and Farfan's laid it inside, and surely now for 2-0 PSV. Goodness me, Kone put it wide. Beasley did everything right. The substitute teed it up, and Aruna Kone didn't get his 5th goal of the season. You rather hope for him that they don't live to regret that moment. 7 minutes to go, that would have sealed it. Oh dear. And it goes from Schneider. Might have gone anywhere. Behind for a corner. You can see Alex there saying, let's keep it going. Surely that's it. The referee, who has been in many ways the key protagonist in this game, blows the final whistle. His penalty award for the foul by Emmanuelson, converted by Simons. And PSV win by 1-0. They go top.
Despite losing their previous 3 matches, RKC still found themselves within an upset win against Feyenoord of nudging up alongside the league leaders from Rotterdam. Dirk Kuyt almost had the ball in the net there inside 15 seconds, but Rob van Dijk was able to save. It was RKC who did score first. Martin Martins with a finish almost as good as his name. Well, Feyenoord had a host of players out through injury, and it showed. It wasn't until the 78th minute that they were able to grind out an equaliser. Kuyt setting up Romeo Castellan for his 4th of the season. The late RKC winner stunned Erwin Koeman's team, who dropped to 3rd when Van Dijk crossed for Virgilio Teixeira a minute into stoppage time. Great goal there by the Portuguese midfielder. Feyenoord's 2nd defeat in their last 3 matches, and they dropped to 3rd. Well, Co-Adriaanse may have left, but Louis van Gaal is continuing the RZ commitment to attack and excitement. They're ahead with less than 5 minutes on the watch here against Willem II. Tarek Sektui's header, but back came Willem and equalised on 17 minutes. German Augustian picking his spot. There was further scoring before the break. Van Halen fouled by Oscar Mearns, former AZ keeper who was sent off. Peter Zeus came on. His first activity was picking the ball out of the net after Denny Lanzout's penalty. 7 minutes after the break, AZ made it 3-1. Wonderful volley from Kenneth Perez. The Danes' 8th league goal in 9 matches. And AZ swarming forward, had another goal as well 6 minutes before the end. Martin Meerdink came back after 6 months out in the UEFA Cup defeat at Dnipro in the week. Back in with a scoring there after Van Halen's cross. And then 2 minutes from the end, Greta Steensen made it 5-1. Meerdink crossing there. First goal for AZ for the Iceland international. Well, there we go. Elsewhere, 2 goals from Danny Buijs lifted Groningen into the top 8. Strong away performances as well from Roda, Vitesse and NEC. PSV, after that victory against Ajax, edge to the top, then final, slipped to 3rd. Well, the bottom looks bad for RBC Roosendaal. They haven't won yet and lost their 4th straight match at home against Vitesse. Still to come on EuroGoals. After the break we go to Spain. Brilliant from Ronaldinho. To Serie A as well. 3 goals for Juve, including one for Adrian Mutu. After a sluggish start to the season, Villarreal is starting to play with the openness and confidence that carried them to 4th place last season and into the Champions League. Crucially, Juan Roman Riquelme is back in top form and even scoring direct from corners. The more familiar guys, 20 minutes later, Riquelme turned provider for an excellent header from Jose Marie, the former Milan striker's 3rd goal of the season. The 3rd Villarreal goal just before half-time was the very epitome of the old adage, perseverance pays off, for Diego Forlan. Eventually tucking home and his first goal since the opening day of the season. He needed that, did Forlan. Mallorca looks set to struggle, as they did last year when they only just avoided relegation. Villarreal have 3 wins from 4 now. They're going well. Deportivo won their first 2 matches of the season but have not tasted victory since. This 2-0 defeat at Sociedad sees them slip into the bottom half of the table. 0-0 at half-time, the Bats went ahead 5 minutes after the break. Gadi crossing for Darko Kovacevic, the big Serb's 4th goal in as many matches. Sociedad's 2nd goal came from the veteran defender Igor Juaregui from Nihat's corner 20 minutes from time. His first goal for 2 seasons. And enough to see Sociedad move up to 7th in the table. Deportivo could have made things interesting. Sergio pumping in the free kick. Juanma, very unlucky. Wasn't enough. 2-0 Sociedad. Well, Miguel Angel Lotino is back at his old club Celta Vigo with his new one, Espanyol, struggling near the foot of the table. They nearly had the lead though, and De La Peña's free kick resulted in a chance for Luis Garcia, but Pinto able to collect. Espanyol were always going to be up against it though. At the moment their central defender Mauricio Pochettino was sent off at the start of the second half for kicking out at Pereira, and eventually they caved in with 8 minutes to go. But how unfortunate was Carlos Khomeini, the goalkeeper, keeping out Guerrero's effort, but as his defenders just stood around and watched, was beaten by David Silva's follower. Viga back up to 2nd in the table. Espanyol could have avoided a 4th defeat in 5 matches. David denied by Moises. We're back on top of La Liga now. Getafe, remarkable performance this against Zaragoza to mirror their rise to prominence really. Only their 2nd year in the top flight, the club from the Madrid suburbs, just 25 years after they were formed. Went a goal up here against Zaragoza through Veliko Paunovic. his first goal for 3 seasons. That was after 9 minutes. After that, Gabi Milito with a foul on Guiza. Daniel Guiza, Diamond Giza, made it 2-0. Here was Guiza again, as Zaragoza were hit on the break, getting his 4th of the season. 3-0, and we'd only had 24 minutes. Rampant form from Bernd Schuster's side. And in the 36th minute, it was 4. Free kick from Paunovic to Ruben Pulido. And a very uncomfortable afternoon for Zaragoza. It was getting even worse. 2 minutes after the break, though, they pull one back through Jose Movilla. Deflected. And it should never really have got through the goalkeeper, but go through it did. More shambolic defending could be found after that. And Zaragoza got another one. Came off Belenguer that time. Ponzio's free kick. And Zaragoza were dreaming of a fight back. They'd not won in 4 matches. But a 5th goal from the home side, 5 minutes from the end. The pick of them from Pablo Redondo sealed the points. His 2nd goal of the season coming off the bench. First time Getafe have ever scored 5 in the top division in Spain. And remarkably, it sees them back on top of the table. Plenty to worry Juan Laporta, the president of Barcelona, off the field, what with firing his brother-in-law and club director Alejandro Echevarria for his links to a pro-Franco foundation. Nothing to worry about against Osasuna on the pitch, even though Lionel Messi's header was the closest they came before the break. After it, though, less than 20 seconds were needed to break the deadlock. Ronaldinho's corner headed in by Samuel Eto'o. Eto'o got a 2nd goal as well soon after. Predatory finishing this after Silvinho's terrific run and cross down the left-hand side was not dealt with here by Ricardo. The Cameroon striker now on 9 goals is Spain's leading scorer. Eto'o was then taken off for Ludo Giuli before the end. And the Frenchman proved once more a more than capable understudy, staying awake as Osasuna defenders dozed off. And Ronaldinho here, giving a whole new meaning to the phrase back flick. Barca rampant, 3-0 back in the winning habit here after 3 straight draws. Real Madrid, conversely, thought they'd cracked the consistently winning thing at long last. 6 victories in a row before the weekend. 4 in the Liga to go top and 2 in the Champions League to turn around their hopes. The refereeing would dominate this game, though, against Valencia. Early penalty awarded to the home side for Moretti's challenge on Sergio Ramos, and a yellow card dished out as well. Wasn't the first questionable decision we'd see from the official. Justice, though, possibly served here when Zidane, of all people, failed to convert the spot kick. And then it was Valencia who took the lead. 22 minutes gone. Ruben Baraja with a delightful free kick. His first Liga goal since February. Eight minutes before the break, though, Real Madrid were level. Once again, Raul making it look so easy, as he is capable of doing. Lovely spin, lovely finish, and that restored a sense of normality. Almost within seconds, though, Valencia were back at the other end and forcing a penalty of their own. Aimar crossing, there was contact from Sergio Ramos, but with what part of the body? And more to the point, was it deliberate? One for you to make your own mind up, really. Skims off the elbow. Another penalty awarded. David Villa will be a touch more successful than Zidane. Well, what a success he's been the young striker signed from Zaragoza in the build-up to a World Cup, of course, getting his 7th, just 3 caps for Spain. Could be in line to force his way into Aragonés' plans. Sergio Ramos then heading wide as Real came forward. It was Valencia who almost scored again. What defending this was, though. It was Villa round the goalkeeper. Thought he'd done enough. Failed to make sure. Take nothing away from the goal line clearance. After that, Thomas Gravesen came on. Might as well have not bothered. 10 minutes to go, and Real were reduced to 10 men. Gravesen clearly kicking Vicente. They thought it probably couldn't get any worse at that point. They were wrong. Now then, Raul with the foul initially. David Beckham says something. He's obviously mastering his Spanish. Incurs the wrath of the ref, who goes to book him. There's the Rooney-style apologetic applause, and the yellow card becomes red, and David Beckham sent off for the 2nd time in a month. Well, Betis hammered for the 2nd time in a week. The 4-0 at Chelsea, followed by a 5-0 at Malaga. Atletico Madrid winning at Santander. Getafe go top by a point then from Celta Vigo. Real Madrid slipped to 3rd. And at the bottom, Mallorca only narrowly avoided relegation last season. They're set for a similar struggle this. Alaves and Bilbao in the relegation zone as well. Still to come rather on EuroGoals. After the break we go to Italy. And to Portugal as well, where we run the rule over the success story that is FC Braga.
Bayern Munich might have stopped Juventus in the Champions League in midweek, but there's no one good enough at the moment to get near them in Serie A. At the Via del Mare in Lecce, Juve equalled their record from 1986. 8 straight wins at the start of a Serie A season. And I'm sure that at some point on Monday, Fabio Capello will have cast a wry glance over events at Goodison Park. Another moment of real significance came on 9 minutes. Zlatan scored his first Serie A goal of the season, ended his drought. He's played well, he scored against Bayern, but with Milan to play next week, this is a major boost for the club. On the negative side, though, with Gigi Buffon out, the best goalkeeper in the world, the last thing that Juve needed was an injury to their number 2 goalkeeper, but Abbiati was carried off with 10 minutes to go. Chimente will be number 1 for a couple of weeks at least. Still time, 10 minutes to go for Adrian Mutu to score his first league goal for Juve. Previously got one against Rapid Vienna in the Champions League, but that is first Serie A strike for his new club, and hopefully the road back for Mutu starts here with the help of a deflection. Lecce have lost a little bit of their attacking flair that they had under Zdenek Zeman last season. Baldini makes them rather more pragmatic, but they're unlucky not to score here. Header eventually over by Abruzzese. And to their credit, Lecce, they kept attacking, they kept trying right until the end. And Chimente made a good save. Cozzolino stabbing it goalwards. And Chimente will maybe have to get used to that in the next couple of weeks to come. 4 minutes into stoppage time. Another first goal of the season for a Juve striker. A good significant day this. Camoranesi with the run, and it was Zalaeta. And 3-0 didn't flatter them. They were completely in control, apart from a couple of flurries of Lecce pressure towards the end. Juve march on, 8 in a row. There's a midweek fixture, and then Milan to come next weekend. Elsewhere, Luca Toni scored a glorious hat-trick for Fiorentina against Parma. There was a last-minute equaliser for Ascoli away at Messina. And Super Pippo Inzaghi is back, scoring Milan's winner against Palermo. Oh, and the small match of the Rome derby. Totti scored first, Rocky second, Roma Lazio 1-1. It means that Milan 5 points behind Juve still. Fiorentina up to 4th place after that excellent win. Lecce down amongst the dead men at the moment with Cagliari and Treviso, and Parma struggling after that 4-1 defeat. Well, amazingly, first against fifth here in a clash between two previously unbeaten teams. It's been a great start to the season. The sign says that our hearts beat for you, and Braga's fantastic fans eventually would have something to cheer after Jesualdo Ferreira's men just about nicked this game. The only goal of the game was scored by the Argentine player Andres Madrid just after the half hour. He scored an own goal against Rio Ave last week, so that was some consolation. It wasn't maybe the best piece of goalkeeping from William, the keeper. Good sliding finish from the defender Madrid, and in fairness, Braga dominated the game. David crossing for Vandinho, William saving that time, and somehow it was kept out. Maxi's shot cannoning off the post via a Boa Vista defender. There was time for that poor challenge to be punished. William Sousa, the Brazilian, the former Santos player, sent off, and Carlos Britos' side down to 10 men. The challenge on Luis Felipe simply had to be punished, and it was all Braga towards the end as well. Should really have made it 2-0. João Thomas got round Helder Rosario but couldn't quite finish. But still, we should salute this team. Portugal has been very interesting indeed in recent seasons. It was once Boa Vista who bucked the trend. It's Braga now. They won 1-0. And it's Benfica who lead the chasing pack behind Braga. They have 4 points from 3 Champions League games, and they're still in with a chance of qualifying for Manchester United's group. They're looking bright and lively as well here. Shimau with the cross early on, and Cariaca hit it, but the Estrela Amadora goalkeeper Vale made a good save. Lovely play from Shimau, who nearly joined Liverpool just before the start of the Premiership season, but he's still doing a good job there. One disappointing moment for Benfica. Kim, their international goalkeeper, replaced by Rui Neru just before half-time. And then just after half-time, well, they had the lead. Nelson skipping inside, providing the cross. The Russian international Cariaca getting the goal. He'd already missed a couple of chances, but this was a pretty simple finish, and he took it very well. But the real star of Benfica's season has been Nuno Gomes. Looked like his career might be over. Not so. He is banging them in. That's 9 for the season already. Great dramatic flying finish, and again it was Nelson from out wide who provided the cross. It's an awful lot for Ronald Koeman to celebrate at the moment, and he's enjoying himself. Benfica win 2-0. Well, Nacional from Madeira have enjoyed a dream start under Manuel Machado, but it came to an end against a Porto team given an immeasurable lift by beating the mighty Inter in the week. And Porto, in fairness, dominated the game. Quaresma with the cross, and Hugo Almeida putting it wide when he might have scored. But it was that combination that eventually would give Porto the lead. Quaresma could be so lively on his day, and he proved too good for Nacional here. Look at the length of the grass, by the way. Teeing up Almeida, just bouncing over the line. Dramatic finish. And he got the goal he should have had moments earlier. It was one of these games, though, and with a minute to go, for all Porto's dominance, Nacional had a chance to equalise. The Bulgarian Georgi Chilikov, the new player from Levski, couldn't believe that he put it over. Adrianza, a happy man. Porto won 1-0. Well, Gil Vicente had lost 4 games in 5 before this, but what a display they put up against Sporting themselves in terrible form. The new Sporting coach, Paulo Bento, having replaced Jose Peixeiro. And he got the start he wanted just before half-time. Rudolf Douala, who scored that fateful goal for Cameroon against Egypt. Cameroon not going to the World Cup, but Douala trying to fire Sporting up the Portuguese table. Good finish, teed up by Liedson, but then Gil Vicente got level. Terrible defending, and Gregory with the finish. It was Gouvea's free kick. It's a free header. And they went 2-1 up as well. Gil Vicente. Carlos Carneiro, who scored 7 last year, got his first of this season. but he would be unfortunate enough to be involved in the Sporting equaliser late on. Good powerful header there. There's Lietz's shot. It was Carnero who put it back out to him. Didn't clear it effectively. And the prolific Lietz gets his 4th of the season. He's got a long way to go before he matches the 25 of last season, but they're probably going to need him to do it. Sporting may be on the up. They had lost 3 and 4. They're now up to 5th, but they must play better for Paulo Bento. And elsewhere, Maritimo with a good win at home against Naval, and Guimarães won at Setúbal Leera, beating Académica as well. But the big news again, Braga keep going at the top. 3 points clear of Porto. Benfica a further point behind, and Sporting are finally, just finally, getting their act together and up to 5th. Boa Vista go down to 6th. Nacional still up in 4th place at the top of the table. Penafiel look doomed already, and Guimarães and Maritimo in a little bit of trouble too. So coming up after a short break, Saint Etienne, Marseille and the rest of the French league. Some great goals to see from there. And also we take a look at the action from Germany, where Bayern remain rampant. We'll see you in a moment. Well, Lille played well at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and Claude Puel's side carried on that form into their game against a wretched Nantes team. Nantes have only 1 point from their last 15, and well, they might have had more luck early on. Tony Silva with a good save for Capoue, but one of Lille's outstanding players, Jean Macoun, the man from Cameroon, got his 4th of the season. Priceless goals from the centre of midfield from Macoun. Made it 1-0 on 23. And after starting the season quietly, their top man really, Matt Mousselou, is starting to find some form as well, which will make Puel so happy. Mousselou with a typically powerful run, but from here, look how well he did. Terrific goal. 3 goals in the last 4 games now for Matt Mousselou, and that a contender for, well, our best goal of the day and one of the French goals of the season so far. He had so much to do, and he did it so wonderfully well. Lille surge up the table, Nantes move closer to relegation. Final score was 2-0. Guidolin's 3rd game in charge of Monaco, and after starting with a win over Metz, that's now 2 defeats in a row. Sochaux improving rapidly and unlucky not to beat Bordeaux last week. They got the win here though eventually, and Guidolin is having a difficult introduction to French football. He was one of the stars of last season who got Sochaux going. Elan came in the transfer window and scored 12 goals in the second half of the season. Flicked it round Warmouz and scored easily. 4 for this season now. Started terribly this season and candidates for relegation, Sochaux, but they're starting to get it together. And if Monaco keep giving the ball away like this, they're going to pay seriously as the season progresses. Ndor with the shot in here. Nice interplay with Mumumi Dagano, and unlucky not to score. Dagano is picked up from Guingamp in the summer. Hasn't had a great time of things in front of goal, so that was a nice moment for him. 5 minutes before half-time, Boudachen with the free kick. Monaco have got plenty of good set pieces of their own, but they're undone by one there. Dagano, the man from Burkina Faso, with his 2nd goal of the season. Monaco did get one back. They needed a lift after losing to Viking in the UEFA Cup in midweek. They didn't really get a lift, but they got a goal through Mekon Gigliotti with the cross. And a man under pressure, Dominique Bijotat, had plenty to smile about after this game. Big win for him. Sochaux beat Monaco by 2-1. Now then, this was the game. A wonderful atmosphere at the Geoffroy Guichard in Saint Etienne between 2 teams who've won 19 league titles between them. Saint Etienne started the day in 5th, Marseille in 7th, and Jean Fernandez visitors boosted by a great UEFA Cup win in Moscow that you might have seen live here on Eurosport. Ribéry was outstanding that day, and he had the opening chance of the game, a typically good run and shot, but dragged well wide. Now Pascal Feinduno has been struggling for fitness and form lately, but he popped up here. 2 goals for the season now. The former Bordeaux man Massive goal for him, and what a response to those who'd criticised him. But after starting the season poorly, Marseille bounced back and they found some steel as well. Coquet with the run here. Sabri Lamouchi managed to score in the week, but that was a more typical finish from him. Luckily for him, he dragged it to Ribéry, who slotted it for 1-1. Ribéry, since coming back from Turkey, the 22-year-old has had a fine season. Well, Marseille did come into this with a run of 5 wins out of 6 in the league, but they would be beaten here dramatically. 6 minutes from time, David Hellebuig with a wonderful goal. Games played in this dramatic an atmosphere deserve finishes like that. And it was a real Saint Etienne man, someone who helped drag them out of Ligue 2 with Elie Bock, who managed to drive it home for his coach. Final score was Saint Etienne 2, Marseille 1. Nice and Auxerre played behind closed doors after bad behaviour during the game against Marseille. There was still the noise of fans on balconies and around the Stade de Ré, echoing rather strangely around the stadium. Most importantly for Nice, I suppose, they got the win. Bakary Kone missing a good chance early on. And given that Auxerre had won 4 in 5 with one of the form strikers in the league, Peggy Loindula, you thought they might have made more of an effort than this. Mohamed Vahirua, another in need of some form, drilling home a free kick on 33 minutes for his second goal of the season. And then Bakary Kone weaving his magic. They used to call him Pelé back in Abidjan when he was being brought up as an Ivory Coast youth player. Couldn't quite prove it there. Grichting's header tipped over easily by Damian Gregorini. And Antonetti afterwards said it was like playing in a morgue. Be happy with the win though. Toulouse had won 2 in a row here. Bordeaux are unbeaten since week 3, but it was the home side with all of the pressure early on. Mathieu finding Santos. Jaime with the save. It's been a fairly stilted start to the season for Eric Mombart's side, but they got the lead here 4 minutes before half-time. The long ball for Moreira, who used to be a French international. With finishes like that, who knows, he might even make the World Cup squad. They deserve to be further ahead. Bordeaux were poor on the day. It was just a 1-0 lead at half-time, and you always felt they might pay, and they did. 13 minutes into the second half, Francia, the Argentine player, with a glorious free kick. Just watch the whip and bend on this. That's magnificent. And that was also the end of the scoring. Toulouse 1, Bordeaux 1, it finished. Paris Saint-Germain are still smarting, maybe literally after the ammonia affair at Marseille last week. And the last team they wanted to play really was the in-form upstarts from Nancy. 4 wins in a row, and they were very unlucky here as well. Little touch away early on by Brasiliano, the goalkeeper from Nancy, with Paoletta hovering. And it was worrying times for Laurent Fournier, the coach of Paris Saint-Germain. He's managed to put some energy into his club. Someone who needed to show some energy to the home fans was Bonaventure Kalou. Neither he nor Vikash Dohosu are playing particularly well at the moment, but Kalou's 3rd goal of the season settled this. Nancy missed a chance late on. They were unlucky. PSG won by 1-0. And they were singing the name of Bonaventure Kalou. Now, there were those naive fools who felt that Metz would give Lyon a game at the Stade Saint-Maurienne, but Lyon would have none of it, although it was Metz who created the first chance. Giba putting the header just wide, and then Lyon decided to play. One of the most impressive things about the French champions is that they get goals from everywhere. John Carew, who's had the flu and a suspension, drove home his 5th of the season, and Gregory Wambe, the keeper who talked up Metz's chances before the game, had no response. So Carew now has 5. One of their Champions League inspirations, Juninho, has 3 now. Berthaud with the cross. He had so much time, but he opted for bottom right-hand corner in the end. And to think he'll only be a reserve for Brazil in the World Cup if he makes the squad, it's frightening. So to continue the count, Carew with 5, Juninho with 3, Sylvain Wiltord with 5 now. Always so successful as a central striker in his younger days. He's enjoying being one again, enjoying it an awful lot. And who'd be a Metz fan or player now? One man who should get on the score sheet more is Florent Malouda. Lovely left foot, lovely finish there as well. And as for those people who said that Metz had a chance and that Lyon might slip up, do you think so? Do you really think so? Final score was Metz 0, Lyon 4. Elsewhere, well, significantly, 3-1 Lens won. It's Lens' 8th draw in a row. They get some lessons from Harry Redknapp at Southampton on that score. But Lyon just awesome and imperious, as we'll see from the table. 7 points clear of Paris Saint-Germain. Bordeaux drop points. Saint-Etienne up to 4th place. And Lille are going well, aren't they? Macoun is leading them. And a charge maybe for another Champions League place for them. Down at the bottom, Metz look in terrible, terrible trouble. And Sochaux managed to pull themselves out of relegation.
Well, 30 goals in the Bundesliga this weekend, 9 of them at Frankfurt, who beat Cologne 6-3. The pick of the goals, the 4th for Frankfurt, Benjamin Kohler got it. Certainly a contender for goal of the season. What a strike here in that 6-3 win. Ralf Rangnick's Schalke kept the Bundesliga's last unbeaten record intact with a point at Wolfsburg. Might even have won as well when Kevin Karani came close. This was the first ever goalless draw at the Wolfsburg Arena. Schalke stay in 4th place after this point. Hamburg's defeat at home to Wolfsburg the previous week was their first of the season. But a point at Dortmund here was a decent response, certainly considering they went behind with 30 minutes to go. Christoph Metzelder starting and finishing the move. The international defender's 2nd goal of the season. Well, David Odonkor, who'd set it up, almost created another goal soon afterwards. But Thomas Rositzky. But Hamburg would survive here and pretty much burgled an equaliser with 15 minutes to go. Piotr Trukowski only playing because Rafael van der Vaart is suspended. Must wish the Dutchman will get sent off more often, giving him more opportunity to do things like this. The under-21 international getting a 2nd goal of the season to preserve Hamburg's 3rd position in the table. It finished here, Dortmund 1, Hamburg 1. Bayern Munich were on cruise control here against Duisburg, emboldened by that thrilling win over Juventus in the week. Bayern had this one sewn up by half-time. A typical Michael Ballack run and header for 1-0. That was before something special from Zé Roberto for the 2nd. The Brazilian is in great form at the moment. He's finding himself more central. He's even got the confidence to do things like this. Forced it through for 2-0. Impudent. Slightly more direct when they got a 3rd in the 59th minute. Zé Roberto for Santa Cruz, defending non-existent. The Paraguayan Santa Cruz 3rd goal in 5 matches since his return from long-term injury. Not to be outdone, another former favourite from South America, Claudio Pizarro, knocked in a 4th goal right on the final whistle to cement Bayern's return to the top of the table. Duisburg will be heading swiftly back to Division 2. Werder's winning streak came to an end at Hanover. Miroslav Klose, the top scorer, was substituted after his Champions League excursions. That didn't stop him coming off the bench and almost snatching it for Bremen though, after he'd done the hard work as well. It finished 0-0. Good wins for Mönchengladbach and Bielefeld there. Hertha stopped the rot. 2 goals from Marcelinho helped them beat Mainz. Bayern back at the top, Werder next in line, then Hamburg and Schalke, who play each other next weekend. Nuremberg and Duisburg sit joint bottom, just 6 points from 10 matches for both. Then it's Mainz, the bottom 5, all lost at the weekend.
Shock, horror, Chelsea didn't win, held by Everton at Goodison, although they had what looked a good goal ruled out. Robert Pires and Thierry Henry contrived to make a mess of one penalty, but Pires scored the other to make sure Arsenal beat Manchester City, and Tottenham showed their new strength by winning a point at Manchester United. So as you can see, Chelsea under serious pressure. They're only 9 points clear now of Charlton and Tottenham, and what a season so far for Wigan. Liverpool beaten against Fulham in the bottom half of the table, and Everton are still, as they say, rock bottom. So that's nearly it from EuroGoals. Just time for you to be able to vote for our best goal, and you can win some great prizes as well. Vote for your favourite goal on Eurosport through the website. You know the way now, and you can win the prizes. First, we'll show you the winning goal of last week, and it was scored by Ronaldinho. Let's take a look at the 3D goal now. The first angle here is from behind the goal. See how Eto'o crosses to Ronaldinho, then we see the dribble of Ronaldinho. The way he manages just to redirect the ball there. This is from behind the scorer. You can see how Ronaldinho just puts the defender off balance with that little right-footed feint. And then from here, we can see the only way for Ronaldinho to beat the goalkeeper is to shoot quickly. And he caught Molina out. Look now for the change of rhythm of the Brazilian player. Controls the ball, stops the defender dead, then the acceleration and the finish. So here are your choices for this week. Remember, it's your choice, your vote, via SMS, text and through the website. Number 1 is Redondo for Getafe against Zaragoza. So that's goal A. If you like Redondo, not so sure about the celebration, but it was a super goal. Goal B, this will look good in 3D actually. The flying header from Nuno Gomes for Benfica against Estrela Amadora. Nine for the season for Nuno Gomes, but will you vote him best goal of the week? And goal C, we couldn't leave him out. RKC against Feyenoord, it is the one, the only, Martin Martins. Don't want to push you in one direction, but it'd be nice if he won it. You might not get another chance. The man from RKC is goal C, Martin Martins. This is how you vote then. Eurosport.com Game Zone, or use those numbers to text to, SMS, etc. You text the word goal, you can enter, you can decide on A, B or C. So that is that from another EuroGoals. Plenty of goals flying in all over Europe. Juventus and Bayern Munich, who played in the Champions League last week, maybe the heroes of the weekend as well. Some great performances. Braga still goes strong in Portugal, and Saint Etienne with a great win over Marseille. So much to talk about. Be the same next week when we'll be back at the same time. But for now, from EuroGoals, from Andy Bodfish and from me, Dave Farah, bye-bye.